Today we dive into the latest developments surrounding 5 key footballers: Nwaneri, Gabriel Jesus, Leroy, Sane, Gabriel Martinelli and Andreas Christensen. These players have either been making headlines recently or are poised to impact their clubs in significant ways. Whether it's a rising talent ready to break through, a seasoned player returning from injury, or a potential transfer target on the radar, each of these players has a story that could shape the future of their teams. Let's kick things off with one of Arsenal's brightest young stars, Nwaneri. The buzz around Arsenal's talented academy product, Nwaneri, continues to grow as the youngster nears what could be a pivotal moment in his career. Just 17 years old, Nwaneri first made waves when he debuted for Arsenal's first team at the astonishing age of 15, making him the youngest player in Premier League history. The brief appearance off the bench against Brentford was a clear signal that Arsenal had high hopes for him. Now, 2 years later, Nwaneri is on the verge of being trusted with more responsibility as Arsenal grapples with injuries and suspensions in midfield. Nwaneri's progress through the ranks at Arsenal has been swift but measured. Mikel Arteta has spoken highly of the young midfielder's maturity, both on and off the pitch. He's physically really mature, personally really mature, and his game understanding has improved a lot, Arteta recently remarked. With first team midfield options like Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard unavailable for the upcoming North London derby due to injuries and suspensions, Arteta has hinted that Nwaneri might be ready for a starting role in this high-stakes clash. As Arsenal looks to nurture young talent like Nwaneri, another familiar face at the club is making his return from injury. This leads us to the experienced Brazilian forward, Gabriel Jesus. When it comes to players who can immediately make an impact, Gabriel Jesus is at the top of the list for Arsenal. The Brazilian forward has been a critical part of Mikel Arteta's side since arriving from Manchester City, where he played a key role in Pep Guardiola's attacking system. Jesus' arrival at Arsenal last season was seen as a massive coup, and he quickly demonstrated why, with his ability to play as both a traditional number 9 and a versatile forward who can drop deep or drift wide. After being sidelined with a groin injury, Jesus is reportedly ready to return just in time for the North London derby. This is a huge boost for Arsenal as they prepare for one of their most important fixtures of the season. Arteta confirmed the good news in a recent press conference, saying, "Gabi was out there. He's got another session tomorrow, and if everything goes well, he'll be ready to be selected in the squad." Jesus brings much more than just goals to the table. His relentless energy, intelligent movement and pressing ability set the tone for Arsenal's attack. His work rate is often highlighted by pundits and former players alike. Alan Shearer, for instance, has pointed out that Jesus is a player who doesn't just score, but also creates space for his teammates, disrupts opposition defences and leads by example with his willingness to run and press. With Jesus back in the squad, Arsenal's attack looks much more dynamic, and his presence could be the difference in such a high-stakes match. As Gabriel Jesus works his way back into the starting lineup, Arsenal is also looking to the future by keeping tabs on potential transfer targets. One such target is Bayern Munich winger Leroy, who has been linked with a return to the Premier League. While the current season is still young, Arsenal is already looking ahead to future transfer windows, with Bayern Munich's Leroy reportedly on their radar. Sane, a player known for his electrifying pace and technical ability, has been a standout performer for Bayern since his move from Manchester City. However, with his contract set to expire soon and renewal negotiations proving complicated, Arsenal may see an opportunity to bring the German international back to the Premier League. Reports suggest that Sane has been asked to take a pay cut to stay at Bayern, and with the winger unwilling to commit to new terms, Arsenal and several other Premier League clubs, including Newcastle, are keeping a close eye on the situation. Arsenal's interest in Sane is fueled by a desire to add more firepower to their wide attacking options. Sane's left-footed style of play would add a new dimension to the Gunners' front line, especially with Bukayo Saka often carrying the brunt of Arsenal's creative burden on the right flank. Sane's experience in the Premier League, where he previously dazzled for Manchester City, makes him an attractive target. His ability to score goals, create chances and stretch defences with his speed could make him a key player for Arsenal if they can secure his signature. Moreover, the fact that he might be available on a free transfer if he doesn't renew with Bayern adds further incentive for Arsenal to push for this deal. The potential arrival of Leroy Sane raises questions about how current Arsenal wingers such as Gabriel Martinelli might be affected. Let's take a closer look at Martinelli's situation. Gabriel Martinelli is undoubtedly one of Arsenal's brightest young talents. The Brazilian winger had a breakthrough season in 2022-23, scoring 15 goals and becoming an integral part of Arteta's attacking unit. However, Martinelli's form has been somewhat inconsistent over the past year, largely due to injuries and the emergence of other attacking options in the squad. Martinelli started Arsenal's first 2 games of the season, but was left on the bench for their 1-1 draw against Brighton, sparking some speculation about his place in the team. The addition of Leandro Trossard and the loan signing of Raheem Sterling have only increased competition for the winger positions, meaning Martinelli would need to be at his very best to retain his spot in the starting 11. Despite this competition, Mikel Arteta has made it clear that Martinelli remains central to his plans. "We need wingers with ability to go one-on-one, to attack the spaces, and to increase the goal threat from every position," Arteta explained. The Arsenal manager has praised Martinelli's work ethic and his ability to contribute both offensively and defensively. With Arsenal competing in multiple competitions this season, Martinelli will undoubtedly have opportunities to shine, but he may need to step up his game to fend off the challenge from new signings. As Martinelli continues to compete for his place, Arsenal is also looking to strengthen their defence, with Andreas Christensen emerging as a potential January target. As Arsenal looks to maintain their momentum throughout the season, defensive depth has become a point of concern for Mikel Arteta. Enter Andreas Christensen, the Barcelona centre-back, who is reportedly on Arsenal's shortlist for the January transfer window. Christensen, who previously spent time at Chelsea, would bring Premier League experience and a solid defensive pedigree to Arsenal's backline. Barcelona's willingness to part ways with Christensen stems from a series of injury setbacks that have kept the Danish international sidelined for extended periods. The Catalan club may be open to negotiating a deal, with a price tag of around €30 million being suggested. For Arsenal, this could be a smart investment, adding depth and quality to a defence that already boasts the talents of William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Arteta's desire to add competition to every position is no secret, and Christensen's arrival would provide valuable cover for a defence that has been prone to injuries. With Arsenal aiming to compete on multiple fronts this season, strengthening their defensive options could be crucial to their success. In summary, these 5 players, Nwaneri, Gabriel Jesus, Leroy Sane, Gabriel Martinelli and Andreas Christensen, represent different facets of Arsenal's present and future ambitions. Whether it's nurturing young talent like Nwaneri, or making strategic signings to strengthen the squad like Christensen or Sane, Mikel Arteta is building a team with both immediate impact and long-term success in mind.